What's up, guys? It's Gary. So, you remember when people on YouTube used to just vlog what they were doing throughout the day? I mean, people probably still do that, but like automotive YouTubers, they used to they wouldn't have any particular thing going on in their video, and they would just take you around for whatever they were doing. Did you guys used to watch Haggard Garage? They were always just like going to Lowe's and buying bolts for their projects. Ah, son of a... I left the keys inside. So, today, it's kind of going to be like that. I am going to get a couple things done. Basically, my goal is to get a valve adjustment done on the Mercedes and change the oil as well. But let's fire this rig up, and we're going to take a ride on into town and get some stuff. All right, as my guy Dane Scott says, let's get this show on the road, shall we? Clean as a whistle. Taking the truck anyway is because to do the valve adjustment, you want the valves to be, you want everything to be totally cold. So if I drove the car, I'd have to let it sit all day basically, or at least like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours probably, before I would be comfortable saying that it's cold. And I don't want to do that. I feel like getting right to it, it's going to take a little while to do. What are we looking? Any cops? Sitting in a normal spot? Doesn't look like it. Up on the highway, get right off on the fuel station. What is going on here? Come on. I'm really low on fuel too. I hope it doesn't like slosh it too bad going around this corner. That gauge doesn't work though, by the way. That's probably not how low I am if it was actually working. Actually, look, $3.99. It went down to $3.99 over a week ago, but it's been a long time since it's been below the fours. Turnpike. somebody was right behind me, so I didn't want to smoke him out. Wish I would have washed this thing. It doesn't look so good. It's got dirt all over the tires and shit. Smoking people out. A little bit, nothing crazy. Yep. Yeah, she's in low. So we're going right here. Gotta let that turbo time. Anytime you have a turbocharged engine, whether it's a diesel or a gas engine, even if you're not beating on it, I mean, if you're not beating on it, then it certainly is a less amount of time you have to let it sit and idle, but you gotta let it sit and idle for a little while before you shut it off. Because it's good for the turbo, basically, or to put it better, it's bad for the turbo if you just shut it off. The oil can coke inside there. The oil, basically, you'll get like sludge buildup or burnt oil, pretty much is what it is in the turbo, and it's called coking, oil coking. And yeah, so that was the longest amount of time anybody ever had to explain why to turbo time a vehicle. That's why they make turbo timers. Typically those are installed on, people put those on like tuner cars and stuff, turbocharged, you know, 4-cylinder type things. But the old sit here and let it idle for a minute, that works too. I just love this rig. I gotta remember what I was getting. I am here for feeler gauges and something else that I can't remember. Frick. Feeler gauges and something else. Oh, I gotta look at the wrenches because I might need to get some different wrenches to make that valve adjustment happen. So I would think the feeler gauges would be somewhere around here. I get calipers, measuring devices. Where are the feeler gauges? Alright, so it turns out they are in the aisle with many miscellaneous things, mostly to do with oil changing, referred to as auto lubrication. A employee asked me if I needed help, so I said yes. I'd eventually made my way here, but there they are. Hopefully, because they are cheap Harbor Freight Pittsburgh feeler gauges, they actually are the correct. I've always thought about that. What if they were like, you know, what could they be, like 1,000th off, and that wouldn't be enough to matter. But yeah, that'll work. And then there was something else I needed. What was it? Potentially a wrench or two, although they probably don't sell individual wrenches, do they? All I really need, I think, is 2 14mm wrenches, which I have a bunch of. I just don't know if I have ones that'll work. You know what? If I got 2 14mm wrenches, and I have to just like cut them or shave them down, I'll do that. I'm not going to buy a whole set of metric wrenches just to do that. They're too expensive. Like, what, like $10 for the cheapest metric wrench set, and I'm only getting 114 out of that, so that's kind of a waste. I know I got multiple of what I need. Well, there's the stuff I need and the stuff I want. That's actually both of them right there, but I can't spend the money on that stuff right now. Well, it was only $5 for these feeler gauges, so if they're a thousandth or two off, you get what you paid for. I'm happy with it. Holy crap, there's a fair over there. I've never seen a fair there before. What is that? That's not the Orange County Fair, is it? Which would be weird considering the Orange County Fairgrounds is literally the other place where it normally is. You would think. Alright, so for reasons that don't matter now, don't need to mention, I was trying to get the truck backed up into here, going that way. My attempt was to just turn into that yard and then go this way. Well, the front end sunk in immediately, and this thing of course has an open diff with no locker or anything, so I'm fighting traction here. I got smooth road tires, only this side's spinning. Basically the axle is just about on the ground, but I did clear that. It's not like dug into the ground, so I almost had it out. I'm getting it out. In fact, I've been fighting it for like, I don't even know, 5 or 10 minutes, and I was like, oh, I'm not even gonna film it, but yeah, we are gonna film it. Now I think I'm almost out, so we're gonna see how we do here trying to get out. All right, so I had to take a break and eat a burrito, drink some water. Man, that is really freaking buried. It, for some reason, looks worse than when I went inside. It's just crazy. I looked at the video too, and I thought I was getting closer, judging by what I was looking at. I was like, had a reference point, and I was like, oh, I used to be this far over from the tire when I looked out compared to the mirror, and then it was back. But the video looks like it didn't move at all. All right, so I called my friend up who has an OBS F250 with a 7.3 and a manual, but of course it's not on the road and it's not good to go right now. So he came over in his 4Runner, and you might be laughing, oh, the 4Runner's not going to have a chance pulling that out. So actually when we first hooked it up, it yanked it pretty good. Of course I wasn't filming for that moment, so right here when we start yanking it with this tow rope, you'll see that it just snaps immediately. Then I pulled out my chains and we hooked the chain up to it instead, but it's still a long struggle ahead before we get this thing out. another thing is, we were digging out those front tires. It was constantly a struggle. We kept digging behind the tire, and they were really, really deep. And eventually, putting stuff in there like a concrete block and stuff. So if you're thinking that we were just trying to pull against that ground, we weren't. We were trying to dig that out. Never even hit record, did I? So we ended up jacking up the front end off the spring shackle, which basically the front axle was like literally on the ground, like it was plowing the grass. So we jacked up the front end, jammed the concrete block under there, jammed a wood 2x4 under the back of the tire, and then on the other side, same thing, a 2x4 under that side. And yeah, here we go. Let's try this. Fucking bloody. And now I'm doing the outro from the couch row. So yeah, that was kind of stupid. I thought no problem, I could just pull up on that grass and the rear wheels wouldn't be on the grass, I'd be able to back up. No, the front went right down in. The truck weighs like 10,000 pounds and the engine alone is like 2,000 pounds. So yeah, that was kind of silly. Really thankful to my friends who came over to help me. I have to explain that I'm still not like, I'm not comfortable having my friends around and then filming. Like, I feel weird. I feel like when I first started YouTube, I don't know how, like, what to do. I don't know what to say, how to act. They even admitted the same thing. Like, they were like, oh yeah, like I wouldn't know like what to do. It'd kind of be like I was trying to do something for the camera. We're all on the same page. We didn't really know how to mingle on camera like you see a lot of YouTubers do with their friends. I don't know. Eventually I'll probably get to the point where I can do that and they can do that, but that's my explanation as to why they were kind of just in the background and we didn't interact or anything on camera. So, with that said, nothing that I planned on doing today, except for going to the town and getting the feeler gauges, actually got accomplished. I was like totally shot after that. I didn't feel like doing anything. So, that's the end of the video. And if you stuck around that long just to see the truck driving and see it get stuck and get unstuck, well, I'm glad to hear it. Well, I'm happy you did. And maybe if you are still here and you didn't already subscribe, you can hit that subscribe button. If you really like what you just saw, hit the like button and comment down below. Tell me what you think. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.